Confession. It's one of humanity's oldest psychological needs, dating back over 4,000 years to ancient Mesopotamian rituals. But here's what fascinates me. Even those who hear confessions sometimes need to confess themselves.
That's exactly what makes this story about Father Gregory Mitchell so compelling. Here's a priest who makes it a point to confess his own sins every Friday, even though he spends his days hearing others' confessions.
You know what really stands out to me? The psychological studies showing that verbal confession actually reduces cortisol levels in the brain by up to 47%. It's like our bodies are literally designed to need this release.
That's fascinating. And it makes me wonder about Father Gregory's description of himself as a man like any other, but better than most. There's such an interesting tension there.
Well, that's what makes this story so compelling. Studies show that religious leaders experience rates of anxiety and stress 23% higher than the general population, largely due to carrying both their own and their congregation's emotional burdens.
Speaking of emotional burdens, what strikes me most is how he maintains this weekly ritual, even though he says there's not much to confess.
Right, and that's actually consistent with research showing that regular confession or therapeutic unburdening can reduce anxiety symptoms by up to 35%, regardless of the severity of what's being confessed.
That reminds me of something I read about the history of confession. Did you know that before the Fourth Lateran Council in 1215, confession wasn't even required to be private?
Oh man, that's wild. And you know what's really interesting? Modern psychologists have found that private confession is actually 42% more effective at reducing guilt than public admission of wrongdoing.
The way Father Gregory connects his current practice to his childhood fears really illuminates that privacy aspect, doesn't it?
Absolutely right, and here's what's fascinating. Studies of childhood development show that by age 7, which is traditionally when Catholic children first confess, 89% already have a strong sense of moral right and wrong.
That early development of moral consciousness really puts his childhood fears in perspective.
You know, recent research from Harvard Divinity School shows that religious leaders who maintain their own regular confession or counseling practices report 40% higher job satisfaction and lower burnout rates.
So in a way, Father Gregory's weekly ritual isn't just about spiritual cleansing, it's actually a form of professional self-care.
Exactly. And get this. A 2018 study found that regular ritualistic unburdening, whether religious or secular, can increase emotional resilience by up to 28%.
That makes me think about how this relates to modern mental health practices. Many therapists now require their own regular therapy sessions.
Well, the statistics on that are pretty telling. Therapists who undergo regular supervision and their own therapy show a 45% improvement in patient outcomes compared to those who don't.
The parallel between religious confession and therapeutic practice is really striking when you put it that way.
And here's something that would probably resonate with Father Gregory. Studies show that leaders who regularly acknowledge their own fallibility are rated 33% more trustworthy by their followers.
That really brings it full circle, doesn't it? His weekly practice isn't just for himself, it's modeling vulnerability for his entire congregation.
You know what's really interesting? Research shows that communities with regular confession practices report 25% higher levels of social cohesion and trust.
Well, that certainly adds another layer to understanding why these practices have endured for so long.
Looking at the bigger picture, I think this story reveals something crucial about human nature, our universal need for safe spaces to unburden ourselves. Studies show that 78% of people report feeling lighter after sharing their secrets with a trusted confidant.
That's such a powerful reminder of our shared humanity, regardless of our role or position in society.
And maybe that's the most important takeaway. In a world where mental health challenges are rising by 13% annually, these ancient practices of confession and unburdening might be more relevant than ever.